There's no need.
Shine down!
Swarm! Upon the gale! Upon the gale!
Teamwork is strength! Here comes the catch. There is no escape!
Wretched vermin! Behold! That's far enough! You're dead!
Gotcha! Now you shall perish! I'm going in!
The wind rises! How amusing! You dare to gaze upon me? That's far enough! Behold!
Busted! Light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork! Things are about to get dicey. Illusion shattered!
Unsightly insects. Squall fury. How amusing.
Busted. There is no escape. Torn to oblivion. Everybody stand back.
Too slow. rises. Search for it.
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all. If it's because of that battle, Kazuha keeps to him.
Oh!
I've heard bits. Is it really as big a deal? Really? He was called away. I thought they'd come to arrest.
Just a little while ago, this would have thank you. Guess we'll go.
All right then. I'll just stay here and.
Quit following. Too slow.
There is still much to be. Should we also invite some prominent business? At the. I agree. Ah, hello there, Yashiro Commissioner. To what do we owe the honor on this fine day?
As it happens, I'm here regarding the same wedding I believe I heard you discussing just now. Would Lady Hiragi happen to be available at this?
All ladies entertaining guests right now, and will not.
But please, do come in. We will arrange some tea and...
Hey, Paimon is not in attendance.
You misunderstand.
You're too.
We don't wish to impose. Apologies for the interruption while you're busy with preparation.
Nonsense, Commissioner. No imposition at all. We're merely doing the best we can to make this wedding as grand and...
When the time comes, we'll invite everyone in the clan and even the general public.
That sounds splendid. We'll leave you to it.
Take care, Commissioner.
Seems like you guys talked a lot without actually saying anything.
Hence why I dislike small talk. Our timing was not ideal, but never mind. I spotted a stall on...
Oh, it's Tomoki.
Ah, it's you. Good. Seems like you're always showing up with a VIP.
Oh? So you know the...
Yup, we tried his dango milk a while back with the almighty Shogun in Inazuma City.
Ah, I see. I'd caught wind of this dango milk, but I didn't know that it had anything to do with you two. I always order one of his creative drinks whenever when I noticed he'd said...
Oh, thanks to you all. It gave me the confidence to decide that I'm gonna stick to... On the one hand, I wanted more people to be able to try out, so I gave it a lot.
Sounds interesting.
I've decided to give complete creative as well as dango.
Do they really all go well with me? Hard to imagine, but who knows?
What if I were to choose some ingredients you don't have?
The whole idea was to let my customers express their...
Lavender melon, seagrass...
What? You?
I do indeed.
You really think that?
It's all about the experience. The taste is secondary. Traveler, any thought?
Sounds like a risky choice. Are you?
3 milks with lavender melon, please.
No problem. Here, your milk is ready.
Yep, just as Paimon suspected. Raw lavender milk.
I think it tastes all right. It makes me feel...
Your review seemed pretty positive, but Paimon still...
Taste is your key concern.
Obviously. Tasty food and drinks are some of life...
Well said. If I could say the same was true for me, I believe I'd be a very... Yes. Having my sister...
We're just back...
One or two things. Let's continue this... I noticed something before we left. No. Naturally, they But...
What do you mean?
Hiragi Shinsuke, Hiragi Chisada... But they didn't mention a word. I imagine they'd keep a close eye on them.
Yes, sir.
Whoa! Where did you come...
This is one of my most trusted members of the Shumatsuban. He's been quietly
Merely doing my duty, sir.
Keep a close watch.
Well received.
Oh, and
As you wish, sir.
Oh no, poor Toma.
Sir Kamisato, Lady Hiragi's previous engagement is now concluded.
thank you kindly. Let's go and see Hiragi.
The wind rises. Search for it. Ja! Quit following me.
Hi, nice to see you again, Chisato.
I heard that Sir Kami's.
It's been a while, Lady Hiragi.
This is a rare privilege, Sir Kamisato. It is not often that I have the chance to meet. You must be so big.
But of course, the Tri-Commissioner, perhaps his joy is infectious, for I am now feeling rather elated.
Thank you for your kind word. This was not an easy I'm sure the news will.
Sounds like things.
Yes, but
It sounds like you have.
Yes, in case you were wondering.
Oh!
He didn't mince his words. He has always been. But despite all, he pointed out.
It's just.
Traditionally, after the wedding, Lady Hiragi will belong to the Kujo clan. The Kanjo.
Precisely. I'm so sorry.
No problem at all. Now, but we've also heard that you did not write that letter.
What?
Fancy lettering, you said. So I am to understand that had it not been for this letter, you.
When it comes.
Sir Kujo maintains that the letter was penned by your hand.
Huh?
Either way, it's wonderful to see. Who knows? Perhaps Sir Kujo was the one being coy.
I understand. But now.
Marriage is it is also part of the Yashiro Commission's job to help people through difficult times. I say this as an advocate to be together with the.
I'll take to.
All that matters is that you follow your heart. Since you'll be needing some time to think.
Oh, wait. Let me see you.
Thank you, Lady Hiragi. But there will be traveler. Let's find someone.
Behold! Quit following me.
Hiragi Chisato is on a totally. Hayato, why did you give her such vague suggestions? Couldn't you just have told her what you do in her.
I've said everything I can, given the Yashiro Commission's stance. Interfering too much with other commission's domestic issues will only. The more I think about it, the stranger this all seems.
Strange?
Someone wants Hiragi Chisato to be married as soon as possible, and if my guess is right, it is someone from within the Kanjo. Think about this: when someone's words and actions do not match. Yes, even had the forged. But if with Hiragi Chisato having married into the Kujo clan, actually we have evidence.
Shino.
Yes, sir.
That's the second.
Did they take one of the Kanjo Commission officers away?
Yes. His name is Shinojo.
As I expected, they cannot afford to let this opportunity pass them by. Hiragi Chisato had
But why did they suspect him and not us?
Someone was eavesdropping on our conversation. I think so. Her stance was so. Despite all of this, when she formally married.
Marriage is such a trap.
Easier said than. We, meanwhile, are out in the open. If we attempt to stop this. At this stage, if the perpetrators wish. But first things first, tell me where Shinojo is. We'll head off right.
Too slow. Quit following me. Squall and fury. Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt Decree. Since you're here, we invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that, in short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaidahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaidahara clans was neither proper, considering Mr. Kaidahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma. The Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the all. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does—
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. With the Kaidahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaidaharas will be bladesmiths once more. And you will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City, with the Almighty Shogun's blessing and full—
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home, but yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaidahara and the art of blademaking.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently—
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much—
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaidahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, also that Kaidahara Kazuha was using a delusion.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using—
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements—
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings— But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me—
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It's—
Please, in fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then.
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the—
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking— No. This puzzles me, as my fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaidahara sword art. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai.
All the more reason to watch your back! This guy was a—
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately.
Thank you. I must say, I am now very curious about this matter. I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked him. Then—
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say.
Behold!
if anyone around here has been looking.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaedehara. I've heard a lot about you.
You are too kind. We are
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Mr. Kaedehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are to be honest with you, some of them were
Millions? Of Mora? Whoa!
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying, but I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might have some information.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault. In which case the.
Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara. Surely this same concern.
You flatter me. Truth be told,
you are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand. Oh, actually, there was one strange incident over the Let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure. During times like this.
All right then. Recently, 2 people went missing from this. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the
Amenoma? Now there's a
Right. Yuya is the nephew. 2 grown men. I recalled this because.
Understood. Though it seems highly unlikely to me.
Sure! Can't hurt! We never know what we might.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries.
Sounds good. All the. Quit following me.
If it isn't Kai.
Huh? You two.
Yes. The Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. After I returned to Inazuma, Yes. You.
Though all as an example, there is nothing. As for the.
That's right. For only a
Indeed. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens.
You overestimate. But let's get. We hope to assist.
Ah, yes. He didn't say a word, but I've done what I.
We heard that.
Yes. I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what. If I had to guess, he's never been particularly interested in blade. He is extraordinarily talented in.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find based on the evidence we have gathered so far.
What? No. Absolutely. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that you. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise. Anyway, should you find him.
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who
Yes. It sounds as if something happened. Let's pay a visit.
Swarm Fury. The wind rises.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some...
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know?
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask...
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector...
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but everything was fine when we first got married. But as time went by, things changed.
Uh-oh! What?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to... Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to...
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things he leaves... You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts... After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen? Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves at... And I also don't know if he... The next thing I heard...
I see. Amenoma Yuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fight...
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price, but my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's...
Maybe...
I don't know. He just disappeared after... Perhaps he's too afraid to come home, now that all his collectibles have been lost in the... As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I'm...
Please don't get upset. If collecting things, but the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amenoma Yuya is also...
A little confusing. More like complete...
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can... Rest assured, we'll notify you.
Thank you so much.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon was thinking that maybe... Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
An interesting explanation. Amenoma Yuya is an expert on swords. He could have noticed some... Maybe he recognized a blade as a fake, or a well-known stolen item. Either way, they thought a fire would destroy everything. But then the Tenryou Commission began investigating and uncovered some incriminating details, so they fled. But it's a far-fetched theory. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, the more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there? Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other... Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a...
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone.
Let's keep going. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to...
Okay, but where should we...
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we...
Swarm Fury!
Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh! This must be an another one of those sounds that only you can. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in it.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. The indeed. But this unexpected spring, we should remain vigilant and approach.
So it's an
The force is definitely coming from the source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place. Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatari...
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy. From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into violent monsters, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside. If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than...
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary! Paimon was so sure that the warehouse boogeyman was about to jump out at us!
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami... Two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you.
Quit following me. Behold, upon the gale.
From this point, the trail appears to split into two. The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion remained here, and seems to be... quite possibly.
Whoa! Look at all those silly turtles! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look. By the looks of it, a letter, written on a piece of torn clothing. Well, let's... According to this letter, a conflict arose because Amenoma Yuya wanted to see... Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chasing...
So...
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that the fact, whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the Hilly Churls. Yes, right now we need to uncover if Ame no Mayuya is attacking other people indiscriminately. Then the longer we take to find him, the more—
Right! So let's get moving!
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to the influence. For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame would be their pursuit of further power. All the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected. I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only explains the series of events—
Wait! You figured it out?
I believe so. But it's something of an outlandish idea. On with the search.
Why here? Is there any—
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I said— Show yourself!
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So what's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have—
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Ame no Mayuya, but what if instead of facing Ame no Mayuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange— Whoa! Surely you—
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, or rather as a means to occupy Ame no Mayuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy. As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan, you should be able to guess.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he— And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, he not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also in her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable
So— swords can be—
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhna. I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power.
So Ame no Mayuya was not your— Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for—
You're awful!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Ame no Mayuya. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Ame no Mayuya's body, I have found you. Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. There can be no— Now, give your body over—
Illusion shattered!
Squall and Fury!
Shall rewrite history!
Search for it!
I'm going in! That's gonna hurt in the morning!
Join me and sever that divine light!
That's far enough!
Gotcha!
into the... Huh.
Do not stand in my way, or I...
Your bluff's fooling no one.
Lost. I can never lose. It is this body. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new... The end result is the same. I will end this wretch. And even if I were to lose my physical form, by any means necessary, and...
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Ishin, but from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance.
Really? You can tell all...
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Aminome Yuya's body, its movements, if you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate single mind.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me in that regard. Why?
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cur... Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are...
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now. Mr. Nagato had a habit of never touching his...
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. There's you were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since...
What would you know about any of this? I'm just...
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless even if you were to sever that divine light. Is this truly the outcome? Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the... How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle...
Silence, you blab... I must achieve my goal. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly.
And you should face...
Easy for you to say. Facing reality, I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitate. It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaedahara clan. If you...
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward... I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state. So let us make a...
What? Surely you're not planning to agree...
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose...
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save Aminome Yuya. If we don't do this, the cursed blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not... The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsession. Even if things take a turn for the worse, we have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the...
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are... Now, take me in your...
I felt a little dizzy at first, but it's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will.
What should we do next? Have you got...
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't... If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between... If he wants to avoid reality...
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something. Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's been held by...
all right.
What about Aminome Yuya?
The blade says he'll let Aminome Yuya trail us silently. although he hasn't regained his own.
Are we sure this is a good idea? Okay, fine.
Quit following me.
Leave everything on this journey to me.
There's more!
Into the wind.
There's more! Finally, let's get down to business. There's more!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night! Time to get one with nature.
How are you feeling?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last.
Something else on your mind?
Let's keep going. The wind knows me.
See no more! There's more! Boom!
It's fine. Into the wind.
Carry. Finally, it's my lucky day.
As one with wind and cloud. One with nature.
Finally,
Whoa! Something's up with the blade!
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will...
But what would that do to Aminum?
I will be careful with it. He also says he does not have any plans to give up. He's still trying to achieve his goal. Time to go. Into the wind. The wind knows me. Fallen leaves, adorn my night. One with nature.
Are you okay? It looked like you were really...
Yes. And it looked...
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look...
Perhaps this time, we'll finally have a chance to see his...
True form? What are you... Is this the same blade as before? It looks...
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you battered and broken. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I've finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be— but regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time—
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming from? Yup, we can help this.
Don't worry. I'll use my own blade. It's just more of the same.
Let's get down to business.
Time to go. Into the wind. One with nature. Time to go. Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds call. One with nature.
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, no one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. I thought that if I could achieve Ishi—
But in this too, you have—
Indeed, too much time has passed. My physical state is poor and without proper maintenance. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what a magnificent blade it is.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels. Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most need— skill, blade, determination, and desire. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to Tarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is— though you tried to cooperate, I resisted it. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on— the moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed— You have known this for a long time. It is—
He gave me everything. My life. How could I possibly deny? I said to him, "Do not worry. From here on, I shall..." How could I go?
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under a newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final—
Wow.
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. He spent the rest of his life in the forge. Not to vent his frustration and hate, he felt intense regret, so he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to— All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith.
So that's the— But after that, the blacksmith's intentions were warped by the
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because— Yes. Time would not wait or stop. He seems to have come—
When I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my— I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill— But darkness, not only did I—
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, but I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. So, may I ask you to help me fulfill the ambition?
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too?
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, my physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should...
His attitude has grown a lot. What do you think, Kazuha?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. Alas, after that, he never... Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle since. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next... You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle.
Oh?
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire...
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and...
I see. He used my... I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to you, if a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I do not wish to be a mere victim.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how...
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case...
It's a miracle! Shine down!
Squall and Fury!
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux class. Yep, we still. Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor of Ishin Art.
Successor of Amenoma Art.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also.
The wind knows me. Into the wind. The wind knows me. One with nature. Fallen leaves, adorn my night. Into the wind. One with nature.
Thank you for the experience, although he appears battered and broken. In your hands, it seems he's regained a glimmer. His sense of savage cruelty has complete.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you.
I must apologize to you for all that has...
You need not seek my forgiveness. Nor do I have the right to... It is too late for all of...
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor. I beseech you.
Yes. I too trust Mr. Kai.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like... Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to go...
I'm not sure. but I think that all...
It's you!
I am sorry to have troubled.
A prized but I have some good...
Really?
Yes. Badly wounded. And now that you...
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha?
Yes. He said he wants to take control.
What? No way!
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me I have decided to let him do it. Thank you. I will explain my reasons later. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
So, that's why his consciousness will disappear forever.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions. And only in the final moments, before his consciousness...
Seems like he really wanted to fulfill his maker's...
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my person. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in this. After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me.
Oh,
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will...
Wait! Shouldn't we also go update...
Oh, you're right. And it's also...
The wind rises. Too slow.
You've returned. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse.
Wow! You sure can...
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin. a weapon crafted using a long-lost blade. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more.
I see.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths. So, were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and...
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not...
I am aware, but I still desire to continue walking.
Very well, I can understand. Then let's... However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the shogunate's...
Great.
Where will you travel to next?
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Beto again for now. As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
You must have a whole bunch of questions after our last conversation with Nahida. I'm always ready to...
You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it
Like, about these descenders. So, does that just...
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thrill.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tatara Suna mystery. When so much remains unexplained,
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested.
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will...
Okay, but...
Did one of them just mention Tatara Suna? Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here's just... Great! Let's go find out what this Tatara Suna This realm is... If you ever have...
Quit following me. fury.
Too slow. So, Sucrose, the package you mentioned that you received before, it's not. You need to be careful when you're opening. Once I opened it, if your package contains it.
No. Timaeus! Sucrose! What are you two chatting about?
Oh, hey, you two. We're just talking about a.
A strange?
Yes. I believe it's from a Sumero.
Huh? A package from an academia?
There wasn't anything. I think I've seen.
You've.
No, they did.
Oh, you meant these? Huh.
No.
It's called
Genius Invocation TCG! Yeah, we've been hearing about this game all over the place. We didn't know it had...
That's right. The game's been kept. It starts, it turns out, after being. Huh?
No.
Oh?
Well, since it's a gift from.
Oh, right. And said, okay, fine. Although.
Well, research is my priority, you know. But if you'd like to learn the rules of Genius Invocation TCG, then I'd actually suggest you go to the. Yep, that's trying to learn.
Understood. Traveler, Paimon, to be honest.
Well, what are we waiting?
Oh. Have you.
Welcome to the Cat's Tail. Oh, and Sucrose the Alchemist. I'm afraid of our...
Don't worry, Margaret. Oh, actually, Margaret.
Genius Invocation TCG. You see, Speaking of which, you know, Prince. This is the Cat's Tail after all. So I thought...
Allow me to interpret. Prince...
My mistake. So it seems I haven't introduced you yet.
I'm afraid I must correct you there, ma'am. Only the average player is in...
Wow!
How can you use such... Oh? What?
Seriously, how can he get all of that from us?
Yes, it was...
So...
Though I'd love to
That...
Oh!
I'm sorry, but from the day I met the mighty card master Prince...
If Prince is unwilling to...
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. What is it? I'm pretty busy over here. Huh. Why is it that every player that sets foot in here to play Genius Invocation TCG has to have a drink? Seriously. Games and drinks don't mix.
What can I say? As the tavern owner, I can't help but feel... Anyway, I see you've been working hard, so I thought you could use a break. So...
Ha! Yeah, what kind of break is that? Oh, Why are we letting all these loafers come in here to play Genius Invocation TCG anyway? You know, if drink sales keep going up like this, pretty soon Mondstadt's alcohol Looks like my first step.
My dear, you are quite mistaken. You said it yourself, a clear mind is necessary. Prince speaks the truth, Diona. Not only is the spread of Genius Invocation
Could it really?
Sure, why not? Shuyan.
Oh.
Ooh,
Relax.
What they do this time?
strong.
Quietly now.
Everybody stand back!
As you wish, main Fräulein.
Here comes the cash.
Wretched vermin! The wind rises. Upon the gale.
Odds reveal!
Adventure time!
Let's light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork! Wings of darkness, come!
Know your place.
Busted.
No rest for the wicked.
Game's up. Fun's over.
Everybody stand back! By royal decree!
Squall and fury. Cry louder. Midnight phantasmagoria.
Off we go.
The wind rises.
This realm is no home for a princess.
Squall and fury. Too slow.
There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the